It's December here in Maine, and I'm staring at weeks of weather that'll make it really difficult to get out on the water. Winter paddling, it's harder, colder, less frequent, and for years, I mostly endured it and mostly just waited for spring. But I discovered something by trying to get out even just once a month. That winter doesn't steal meaningful paddling, it reveals what makes it special. Even if you're nowhere near the ocean, even if everything by you is completely frozen, there's something that winter teaches that summer never can. And I'm not just talking about accepting that it's hard. I'm talking about those real, true gifts that only this time of year can share with us. So yeah, today in this behind-the-scenes episode, I'm sharing what winter constraints have taught me about my mindset, why I'm actually grateful for this time of year, and how I've come to learn its lessons. I'm also really grateful to finally be on the water. Got a narrow weather window, and here we are. So let's go get on the water. It always takes me a couple of trips to get used to the pogies. I just feel like they change the paddle dynamics just enough from what I've been used to in the warmer months that feels awkward. The extra layers, I'm like 4 layers underneath this dry suit. That doesn't help either. It's a really difficult time of year here in Maine to paddle for obvious reasons here in December, and the weather's the obvious one. It's cold, and ironically, it's not too bad today, which is why I'm out. It's, I think, 27 degrees, and the wind isn't too bad. There's going to be something big coming in tonight, so this is going to be a short paddle. I want to be off the water pretty soon. But yeah, weather's tricky. The amount of stuff that I have in my boat and the amount of stuff you got to schlep and organize, it's a total pain in the butt. And then to come out here and be chilly and, a little less comfortable than the summer, seems like there's a lot to endure this time of year. But I also think this time of year has a lot of gifts that are available to us if we know how to look and we know how to ask. Now, I wouldn't have found these gifts unless I made a little bit of a commitment to myself. And I don't hold this too tightly. I keep safety in mind. But the commitment I made a few years ago is every year I try to come out at least once a month. And there are some months it doesn't happen. But what I've noticed it does is it allows me to look for those paddling windows and try to find, okay, what's my at least one day this month? What's my one day this month? It gets really tricky in the winter when the weather windows just are few and far between. I can't tell you how many times in the past couple of weeks I've sat at my computer poring over a weather forecast saying, okay, I've got time on Sunday to paddle. I don't have work, I don't have other commitments, and just watching that weather window, and it might start looking pretty good, but then it just gets annihilated like a couple of days before that day happens. Something comes in, or it's colder than forecast or windier than forecast. Yeah, that's happened to me a bunch this season, and it's probably an experience you all know if you love getting outdoors, particularly on the water, just staring at that forecast and hoping it holds. But luckily today it held. I had the day available, and this is sort of a mark on the calendar for about a week of, I think this will work. And yeah, it's 27 degrees, 5 to 10 knots of wind, stay on the leeward side of some of these islands and just make it a short day. My point here is that while there is a lot to endure in winter, what I've realized is there are a lot of gifts to winter. Winter paddling reveals something to us that I don't think is available to us at any other time of the year. So I just flushed 2 ducks that you're not going to see on camera because they're too far away. It reminds me of one of the gifts that I think this time of season has, that the wildlife is completely different, particularly the birds. Seeing eider ducks and black scotters and long-tailed ducks this time of year, they're just in different parts of the bay and they behave differently, and I just don't get that experience with them in the summer or the warmer months. Man, the light is just different in the winter too. And I think that long, low sun, is that a way to describe it? The sun stays low in the sky. And because of that, it feels different and it casts different light. And today, as I'm looking at this cloud bank with the sun trying to push through, it is a lonesome winter day here. The other gift that I found from this time of year is that I just explore different places. In the warmer months, I'm a little bit more exposed. I'm willing to stick my neck out there a little bit more and get into some conditions or some environments that are a little bit more challenging to get back from, or exposed. I'm a little bit more out there and on my own. In the winter, I come to the back of bays or into small island groups and just quiet things down a little bit. Yeah, so another gift of the time of year. Places I wouldn't normally go to. Getting back in the boat reminds me of another thing I'm grateful for, and it's not having neoprene gloves on because everything is like 3 times harder. Just grabbing onto things and holding onto things. So I'm grateful for the time of year I don't need to wear these, and all of this becomes a little easier. Okay, here we go. The mindset I had before I was actively trying to get out once a month for the past few seasons was that, winter was just a time to endure and shut down and close down. And within that, I think there's so much loss that we think exists in winter. The loss of the light, the days are shorter, the loss of the warmth, the loss of the ease. But I think all of it revealed something to me that someone I work with, Mark Nepo, shared once in his work, that what's in the way is the way. The obstacles are our teachers. And learning what I've learned from winter paddling of putting in a little bit extra effort and the gifts that are out here this time of year and the things that you get to see that you don't get to see other times of year have really made me grateful. I'm going to be so grateful for the next August paddle that I have, where it's a light breeze, it's a warm day, I can feel the warm air coming off the land and the cool breeze on the ocean. I don't have to wear every single piece of paddle clothing I own just to stay kind of warm. It's just going to make those days so much more special, so much sweeter almost. I was reflecting on the gratitude I have for all that I've learned out here and all that I get to experience out here and all that I get to share with you and all of you coming along. And I wanted to express it in a meaningful way. And every once in a while I create an offering, and I did that this winter for the ocean. And found some balsam and found some cedar and a little birch bark, and just to deeply say thank you. Thank you to the ocean. Thank you for these lessons. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this day to be able to get out here and do that. Thank you. Chose the wrong side of my boat to put that on because I'm just drifting over it. There it is. Ugh. Been trying these behind the scenes episodes on the channel lately, where it's not about the journey or the trip. Those will still happen. I also have episodes where I'm trying to offer a little bit more the philosophical mindset side of things. And then other episodes in the mix that I'm trying to offer tips and advice and more kayak related tips instead of mindset tips. But yeah, these behind the scenes episodes of what I'm thinking and what I'm going through, they've been really fun to make. A bit vulnerable, letting you in on the dirty laundry inside my head, but you all seem to be enjoying it. I appreciate you coming on this little day trip with me and getting a glimpse into, what goes on in my brain in this time of year and how I think about winter paddling. If you found this interesting, if you're enjoying this insightful look at how do we understand our experience in paddling from this perspective, something that I call the sea mindset, go check out other episodes and tell me what you think over there. All right, friends, this north wind is picking up and I am getting chilly, so I'm going to get off the water and get warm. I hope you enjoy your adventures, whatever they are, friends. And until next time, safe paddling. Bye for now.